Hello, my name is Robin Chappelle, and thank you for joining us. I am a 3-book author. I am a mother, I'm a wife, and I am the owner of Right Away Publishing Company, a small Black-owned business that is dedicated to helping aspiring authors have their work self-published at a much affordable price. Hey everybody, welcome to another week, and thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for staying tuned in. It is Monday and we are in another week, but getting right into it, today we are just going to talk about the 5 steps of self-publishing. More in-depth information is going to be given during the webinar on Monday, but I decided to just come to you guys with some of the basic steps that a lot of people don't take the time to do and don't take the time to carry out. So here we go. Step number 1 is going to be, of course, to protect your work. That's the number 1 thing that a lot of authors sometimes skip over. They sometimes forget and let slip their mind. Don't we know we're all so excited to have finished this book and have this finished product, and we're just ready to get it out into the world and let everybody just read it anytime they want to. But you have to first copyright. Copywriting your work can sometimes get intense, and sometimes it's the easiest thing, but the thing is to please just do it. What a lot of authors don't know, especially the broke ones, is that there is something called the poor man's copyright, and that's one that I have had to use on several occasions. This is when you just take your manuscript, you date it, you put it into an envelope, and you ship it to yourself. And that is going to give it a postmark and let it be known that there was record of it being created and the date and the it was originally yours and you saved it, just in case it falls into someone else's hands. Now, please note, doing this type of copyright will not have your work saved into the official Copyright Office of the United States, but it will cut down on infringement and anyone actually trying to physically steal your work. You have it mailed to yourself with a postmark date, and that's the proof that it is actually yours. Now, the official way would be to do it with the U.S. Copyright Office, which all you have to do is actually go on their website, go ahead and submit your work, the date, and they'll go ahead and say that it's copyrighted and that they know that it's officially in their office. No one else can take it, and we're good to go. Now, some people do go ahead and create their cover before they even start working on their book, and there is nothing wrong with that. When it does come to book covers, there are certain ways and certain avenues that you can go through. You can even go through a personal person if you like. But the most simple process that I have used and that most people, I would hope, use is Fiverr. And if I always did not have the money for Fiverr, there is also Canva. The thing with Canva, though, is that it's not custom. It's going to be some templates that's used by many different people. So you do come upon the problem of possibly running into somebody that has your same copy if you decide to use one from Canva. So when it does come to finding a custom copy, I would go through Fiverr. They do have people who do custom covers and make sure that no one else is going to get your cover. I'm not sure if it's a for sure promise, but I know I've never seen anybody with my cover. So Fiverr is a pretty good way to go ahead and get things done quickly and get them done affordably. Fiverr is my best friend. Not even gonna lie. You'll meet some great people on Fiverr that do wonderful gigs. They're professional, and sometimes you'll run into some people that is like, but either way, most of the time you'll be able to get the job done and you won't be out of your whole freaking life savings. Whatever you do decide as far as your book cover or your book design, make sure that it's pretty interesting. Book covers are not always what sells books. It's not like the first eye-catching thing that people just have to buy a book. Sometimes it could be the description, it could be the title. But a book cover does leave a great lasting first impression, so I would suggest that it's nothing crazy, nothing that doesn't stand out, and something that doesn't make absolutely any sense. All right, so editing and formatting is also a very important thing when it comes to self-publishing. Before you even put anything out there or before you even let anyone else read it, you need to go through the process of editing and formatting your story so that it makes sense to the reader and that it's much more easy to consume. Editing is not for the weak. It takes very great attention to detail. It takes very, very in-depth grammatical passion. because sometimes sentences won't make sense. Sometimes you have to cut off entire sections because it didn't make sense. But it's okay. It makes sure that your book is very much more presentable, and it makes sure that you don't sound like you're just rambling about nothing. Editing is not just editing all the time. It's not just looking for words that you misspelled, and it's not just correcting sentences. Editing and formatting also has to do with the way that your pages are going to be numbered, what chapters that you're going to have and what they're called, and how you want them positioned on the page. Do you want them in the middle? Do you want them to the left or to the right? It's a pretty extensive process, but once it is done, you should have a great and professional looking result. After editing and formatting, of course, there is creating the actual product. There is print and there is ebook. Ebook is very easy because it doesn't require you shipping your manuscript off to a printing company to actually create a book. You can go ahead and distribute it online, and everybody can read it either through Kindle or, whatever tablet that they use to actually read books. I'm a page turner. I love a book. I love a print book. I love turning pages. But some people don't always go for the print. You don't have to always have a print book. I do have a client right now who does have ebooks available on Kindle, and they look great. So it's always your choice if you do want to do print. Print isn't an extensive process. You do have companies such as Lulu and Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is actually my favorite because it does more distributing, and also you can keep track of your revenue. It's really an easier platform. Lulu is also a great platform. I did use that for my first self-publishing book that I did through my company. The thing with it was that I did have to make sure that everything was formatted to what it needed to be in order to be printed. As far as like the size for the book cover or the size for a hard copy versus paper copy, it's just different dimensions and stuff that you have to go through. And that was one thing that I did use Fiverr for, because I was not sure what that was about and how dimensions and stuff and sizing works. I went through this really great guide that I still use to this day that helps me out when it comes to formatting my books and sizing them to the correct size to be sent to the printer. So that's why I said Fiverr is my best friend. I've met people that I continuously use if I've decided that they did great work before. So I would definitely suggest to just go ahead and just download that app because it's everything. Now, after print and after you get your book together, as far as putting it out there, whether you did ebook or whether you did a print book, there is marketing. There is you putting your book out there so that people know that you even wrote anything and that you have something that you're trying to sell. So when you do get your book together and you're finally ready to put it out there, make your content, that is one of the biggest things that's going to help your sales also. Content creation has to do with flyers. It has to do with an actual promotion sheet, media, press, things that have to do with people recognizing who you are and seeing exactly what you do. And it should just be noticed on your pages and on your social media in one look. People should know what you do, what you're about, what you represent, and that you have a book that you're selling. So that's the main thing, is making sure that your readers get to know you, that you build your audience, and that your audience understands exactly what you're selling and what your story is about. The way that I started with beginning to get into a lot of that was doing this, creating videos on YouTube. Lives are a really great way to get people to come to your page and see what you have going on. A lot of people don't go live. It's kind of like a anxiety thing for a lot of people. They don't like going live. But going live is what gets people to come into your world, to get to know you, and you don't have to put a video together. You could actually just talk to them and interact with them and see what they do want to know about you. See, what they're looking for. They can even make suggestions for things that they want to see more from you. Your audience is your key to your sales. They are the ones that you are catering to, the ones that you are selling to. So a lot of their word, whether it is constructive criticism or not, you should be able to look at, and some of it could ring true. When it comes to being self-published, the key word is self. You are on your own, and that doesn't have room for fear, and it doesn't have room for doubts and anxiety. You have to be willing to put in the work. Everything that goes into this has to be committed. It has to be dedicated. It can't just go on for like a couple of weeks, then you get tired and decide you're just going to go off and do something else. You have to actually stick with it, and you have to let your audience know that you're serious as a writer by even continuing to put out books and just continuing to stick on this route, because eventually you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of self-published authors that became successful on their own, that didn't go through a traditional publishing company, didn't need it. You have 50 Shades of Grey, you have all the Harry Potter books and series series by J.K. Rowling, yes, they were self-published authors. So it can be done. It just has to actually mean something to you so that it can mean things to other people. So when it comes to this, I am on book number 4, and I am having a webinar this coming up Monday. It's going to be Monday, March 7th. Sorry, we are not in February anymore. March 7th, and it's going to start at 7 o'clock my time. That means 6 o'clock your time. But I would like you guys to join me and just get in on some great information and just get on the fact that everything that is being charged to you as far as you not having the money to do what you want to do, it's affordable, it's easy, and you just have to actually do your research. A lot of people just jump on the fact that they know self-publishing. They're going to jump on a self-publishing company, and most of the time that self-publishing company is charging entirely too much than they're even able to pay to be an author. But I'm letting you know today that that does not have to be the case. You can do it on your own, and you can do it in a way that doesn't break your bank. So come sit in on some free information. Everybody loves the word free, especially these days when we're struggling, when we're going through stuff. Some of us are not working. So I really would like you guys to just drop by, get this information, and see what you can learn and see what you've been missing as far as becoming a self-published author, because I think that many companies try to make it hard. It's a lot of information that they don't want writers to know so that they can get that money and keep charging you for marketing and stuff that you can actually do on your own. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that those 5 steps at least help you to get started, maybe added some clarity on what you needed to do first. But I mean, I'm going to be making way more videos. I'm going to be doing so much more this year. So please stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you spread the word. If you know any other writers or any aspiring writers that need that help, please let them know about the webinar also and about my channel. And thank you so much for tuning in, for supporting me. Your support has been priceless. And I just ask you guys to please, like I said, visit my website at authorrobinchappelle.com as well as writawaypublishing.com. You guys have a great week.